first-year MBA student here at Rice. Prior to arriving at Rice, I did 6 years in IT consulting, doing system implementations for insurance companies. And one of the main reasons I left, I was getting great work experience, but I just didn't have passion for the work I was doing. Helping insurance companies be able to better write insurance just wasn't a driving factor for me to go to work. I went to make money, but it wasn't enough for me. So as I'm here, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. So when I thought about making an elevator pitch, that my thought was, what would be the job that I would absolutely take, hands down, no questions asked. And my dream job would be to work the Wrigley Field scoreboard. So after giving a 3-minute elevator pitch last week and trying to figure out how to turn it into a 6-minute elevator pitch, I think it was awkward enough at 3 minutes, and so I instead of trying to pitch this to you, I think I'd just like to explain the reasons why, this would be my dream job. So I was born a Cubs fan. I gathered it. My mother used to go when she was a kid. She like 11 years old, used to ride the bus down with her friends, hang out in the bleachers at Wrigley Field. At that time, Ernie Banks, Billy Williams, Ron Santo, like the greatest Cubs in history were playing. And so I gathered that from her, and I suffered through being a Cubs fan for many years. In 2003, I was there the day that Bartman interfered with the foul ball, preventing the Cubs from winning and going to the World Series. I remember in 2008 when they finished with the best record in baseball, and then got swept by the Dodgers in the playoffs. And in 2015, when they made it all the way to the NLCS, and then set the history for NLCS worst batting average for a team ever. So in 2016, I was trying not to get my hopes up for the Cubs. I was trying to use what I had learned, but the thing is, I just loved them so much. So after Game 6, when they won, forcing a Game 7 in Cleveland, I was working in Detroit, and I saw the opportunity. Detroit is only 3 hours from Cleveland. I get out of work at 5, the game starts at 8. I'll just leave and I'll go and I'll get to experience win or lose history. So I tried to convince my boss to let me go like a little bit early. He was a Cubs fan too, but there was a proposal I was supposed to be working on, and I had a client meeting, and he was just like, no, like I just can't. I understand, but I just can't. So I left at 5 o'clock, started driving. I did not have a ticket yet. I was looking on my phone while I was driving. Finally found a ticket that I could afford to get into the stadium, and it was the best night of my life. But when thinking about what I would like to do for the Cubs, I think really the thing that I feel that, year in and year out I could be the most passionate about is Wrigley Field. Wrigley Field is their home. It's baseball mecca. So in thinking about what I wanted to, how do you get to be working at the Wrigley Field scoreboard? And the answer is you become a groundskeeper. The groundskeepers work the field during the day and they work the scoreboard at night. So my consulting experience doesn't have a whole lot of benefits here because there's just, I can't really consult with the Ivy. It's just not really gonna listen to you. But one summer in Chicago, I did work as a groundskeeper at another Chicago venue, Ravinia Festival, which is the summer home of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. So that is really the only relevant work experience I have to allow me to become a groundskeeper and work the Wrigley Field scoreboard. But I hope that my passion for the Cubs and my passion for Wrigley Field would be enough that they'd let me, an MBA student with a lot of, professional experience, trim the ivy. Thank you.